Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game from the history of chess from 1903 from the Vienna chess tournament. And in this chess game we have Mikhail Chigorin with the white pieces and his opponent was Isidor Gunsberg. They both played for the World Chess Championship title and they both lost to Wilhelm Steinitz narrowly. Chigorin played 2 matches against Wilhelm Steinitz and he is known as one of the last great romantic chess players of all times. Until his final years, he played in the style of romantic chess. There is also another something in common in these 2 chess players. They were both bearded men and they were both large men. They were heavyweights, both physically and chess-wise. So let's see what happened in this chess game. Mikhail Chigorin starts the game with e4 and we have e5. And as a romantic chess player, Mikhail Chigorin pushed the f-pawn and we have f4 and this is the king's gambit, which is expected by Chigorin, which is captured by Isidor Gunsberg. And then bishop to c4, the king's gambit accepted and this is bishop's gambit. The famous immortal chess game between Adolf Anderssen and Lionel Kiserisky started in the same way. This chess game is not as famous as the immortal chess game between Anderssen and Kiserisky, but this chess game is also a fantastic chess game. Anyway, the game continued. We have knight to f6, developing the knight. This is the alternative move of queen to h4. Black could play queen to h4 and white is losing the castling rights. After king to f1, miraculously actually white is doing okay and the king is safe. So this is playable and Wilhelm Steinitz especially played many times like this. Okay, but in the real chess game, after bishop to c4, we have knight to f6, knight to c3, knight to c6, and knight to f3. Both players are developing their knights. Bishop to b4, and Mikhail Chigorin castled d6 and knight to d5. Actually, in this position, you might also ask what happens if bishop takes knight. Eliminating the defender of the e-pawn and then d takes is very important in this position. And after eliminating the defender, if knight takes on e4, then white has a very strong move in this position. Rook to e1 is also a pretty good move. But in this position, bishop takes pawn is the best move, which is a very strong move. So if king takes, then check, forking the king and the knight. So after moving the king, we can capture the knight and actually white is much better. This is almost losing instantly for black. As you can see in this position, also the rook is going to join the party very soon. So anyway, bishop to b4. This is why castling, not pushing the d-pawn for defending the e-pawn. But eventually white has to push the d-pawn to liberate his bishop. Black is pushing the d-pawn and black is activating the bishop and then knight to d5. So defending the bishop and then d3, knight to e5, bishop takes on f4, finally capturing the pawn with developing the bishop, capturing the bishop. So Chigorin doesn't mind damaging the pawn structure in this position and we have bishop to g4 pinning the knight. So in this position, if knight takes on e4, then white has queen to d4, both attacking the knight and also attacking the tender g7 square. So if knight goes back, actually this is a must, so black has to defend the knight. Then white is going to play bishop to g5, the knight is pinned, and this is also losing instantly for black. As you can see, this is much better for white. And black is in big trouble in this position. Black also haven't castled, so This is why the pawn is poisoned, not capturing the pawn, bishop to g4. Of course, Gunsberg was not born yesterday. And then bishop to g5, pinning the knight, and this pin is much more dangerous. It is much more stronger and dangerous than this pin, because white is attacking the knight twice. And also white can play queen to d3 and then move the knight, and white has the semi-open file. So we can say that white has the much more, Chigorin has the much more flexible position compared to Gunsberg. Anyway, so asking a question, attacking the very important and one of the key pieces in the center, but simply Chigorin captures the knight. Knight takes on f6, g takes on f6, and then defending the bishop, and white can, after let's say queen to d3, white can move the knight. White has the half open file, so targeting this f-pawn. This is why Gunsberg saw the danger and he played rook to g8, and he has the open g-file, queen to d3, rook to g6, so rook down and defending this f-pawn. Rook over, well, Gunsberg has many weaknesses. This d-pawn and also this f-pawn is a weakness. And black haven't castled, and how to defend this pawn? So if pushing the pawn, white simply takes. Well, defending like this, checking the king and defending with the bishop. Queen to c3, very good move. Pushing the b-pawn is possible. And also in some variations, white is also targeting the f-pawn. So rook to h6, threatening to capture the knight and then capturing the bishop. We have b4, attacking the bishop, defending the bishop, and then defending the bishop and targeting the d-pawn. How to defend? So this is the only defense, obviously, in this position. And white has a very strong move in this position. Can you see that move? What would you do? It is very simple. It is c5, of course. So the pawn is pinned and threatening to capture the pawn with the bishop. So pushing the d-pawn, d5, and attacking the bishop. Bishop takes bishop, and this h-pawn is pinned. It is white to move, so maybe capturing the bishop comes to mind. But if capturing the bishop, queen takes, and you can see that it looks dangerous. Both the queen and the rook is aiming on h2. Chigorin played a move, and Isidor Gunsberg resigned. What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? White has a very strong move in this position. It is not bishop takes bishop. Can you see that move? It is actually a very simple move, and that is e takes on d5. Gunsberg resigned at move 21. Unbelievable. Well, is this blundering the bishop? If bishop takes on g3, can you see what happens? It looks like this is a blunder of epic proportions, because this is, the h-pawn is pinned. What now? Well, this is not blundering anything because of queen to e3, checking the king, forking the king and the rook, and black is losing the rook, and black is not advised to play king to d7 because not capturing the rook, delayed gratification, first capturing the pawn check, winning the queen, and that is all over, and then if you want you can take the rook. So king to f8 and then capturing the rook with check, moving the king and capturing the bishop is fine, and rook to d4, well, this is all over. So this is why in this position, after e takes on d5, Isidor Gunsberg resigned. This is uphill struggle. This is ice skating for Isidor Gunsberg uphill. Ice skating uphill. This is all over. So this position is unplayable. It is so fragile for black. And you might also say what happens if moving the target away, so there is no check. Well, basically d6, and this is unplayable for black. So defending the bishop, what else? But then rook is going to get in, and this position is also unplayable. So thank you so much for watching, and this is the final position between these two chess legends from the 19th century of chess. So thanks for watching again. I hope to see you next time. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.